There, okay. So it is September 16th on a Tuesday. I need you to know, Brie, I was planning on filming this yesterday and posting it in like the dead of night or dawn or something ridiculous. That way you cannot say I was not managing my time, but then I was a little busy yesterday afternoon with some things, and so that didn't happen, but I'm filming it now, so don't come for me. It's the afternoon, I still have time. I had a plan and Andrew Minyar got in the way. Anyway, bad joke, sorry. Oh, Mom, if you're watching this, Mom, I'm wearing my Your Honor That's High-Key Crazy shirt. Here's what we're gonna do for today. As you may know, Grandma started watching The Vampire Diaries, and I know this is gonna be I know this is gonna be just supremely surprising. Can you use the word supreme like that? Supremely? I don't know. Significantly. Yeah, you can, I think. Okay, I know this is gonna be supremely surprising for everybody watching this, but I really love The Vampire Diaries. So I'm gonna talk about season 1 of The Vampire Diaries since Grandma finished it in about 5 seconds flat. And Grandma, if you're watching this, these are my thoughts and opinions, and I love you, but you're my grandma. I can't. This is difficult, Grandma, because we have some differing opinions. And the thing I am most petty and persistently just about in the entire world is The Vampire Diaries. I am ridiculous about it, but you're my grandma. You're my grandma, and so I can't be persnickety about it because you're my grandma. But these are my thoughts about season 1 of The Vampire Diaries, and I am correct. I'm sure the -2 people watching this know that I have the entire show memorized, and literally, I know it's like probably really shocking that it took this long for me to make a Vampire Diaries YouTube video where I'm just gonna rant about the Vampire Diaries, but it's happening finally in year 2025. I watched the show 10 years ago, and it changed my life. So I'm looking at the episodes just for funsies, just so I like get a sense of where I am in the season and I can talk about it in an order that makes sense, because otherwise my brain. First episode, the pilot, I will say it's not my favorite opening episode ever. That title definitely belongs to From Dusk Till Dawn. Anyway, I feel like it's a really good introduction, but the first episode, it's fun. I remember the first time I watched The Vampire Diaries, the only reason why I kept watching after the pilot was truthfully because of Damon, and I am such a big fan of Damon that I feel like, I don't know, you might think I'm lying, but I watched the first episode because it was recommended to me because I had watched Pretty Little Liars. Shocking, I know. And I watched the first episode and I was just like, yeah, this was alright. It didn't get interesting to me until Damon threw Stefan out of a window at the end. So I've been nothing if not consistent. I do like the whole comet thing and like Friday Night Lights football episode. It's very just, because I was starting high school when I first watched The Vampire Diaries. It was like the summer before high school. So it's all very nostalgic to me. Vampire attacks never actually happened at Timber Creek. It's still fun to watch. We have to talk about episode 6. It's the flashback episode. Elena finally finds out and gets all of the information about Stefan and Damon being vampires. And I love that episode. It confirmed for me that episode 6 of any 2010s TV where you have like 20 episode season, that I would give a show through 6 episodes. And if I wasn't hooked by 6 episodes and I did not love it by then, if the 6th episode wasn't great for me, I would be okay with like calling it quits. The window is open. Like, that was my commitment. And I loved the 6th episode of Pretty Little Liars. I loved the 6th episode of The Vampire Diaries. And then Prison Break episode 6 is the one where they're like having the riot episode, and it's a 2-part episode. And that's what got me hooked. And so this was like the start of affirming. Episode 6 usually is good. And I love the flashback episode. I love finding out about Catherine and just all of the drama, and it's such a pretty episode with all like the period costumes, and I just feel like I think they do such a good job of letting you learn about the entire world of magic and vampirism with Elena. Like, you learn alongside her, and I think they do a really good job of executing that, and I really love it. Backtrack, because I just remembered when they're at the car wash episode and Elena goes to the news station researching vampire stuff. I think that's episode 5. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's episode 5. when she looks at the news reports, my birthday is featured. It's like June 12th, whatever year from 500 million years ago, but it's June 12th in that episode. So yeah, I love that for me. Okay, Grandma, if you are watching this, I unfortunately kind of figured you were gonna like Stefan, and I made my peace with that like 10 years ago. The reason why I've been recommending you this show for a very long time is because I knew you would love Bonnie's entire witch arc and her discovering her powers with her grandmother, and just that entire story I thought you would really love, and I know you really love witchy stories. And so I always thought you would like it. And so episode 8, when she makes the feathers fly and tells Elena she's a witch, I love that episode so much. It's so sweet. I feel like so much of the magic in this show gets really sad or dangerous really quick, but I feel like it was just such a sweet, innocent moment of magic, and they were so happy. The hot topic, because Grandma's like, well, why don't you like Stefan? What's wrong with Stefan? And I'm like, I just literally, how much time you have? I just can't. If you want to know, because I told you Damon is the reason why I continued watching past episode 1. Okay, over the 10 year I've spent as Damon's defense attorney. Over the 10 year I've spent as Damon's defense attorney, I have been asked many times, like, well, did you even give Stefan a chance? Did you ever like Stefan? Did you ever like Stefan and Elena together? And the answer, one episode. I liked Stefan, no, let me amend that. I liked Stefan and Elena in season 1, episode 10. I'm pretty sure that's I have the season pulled up, but I'm not actually looking at what happens. I just know what happens. We've been over this. Am I wrong about what episode it was? Oh my god. There's no way I'm wrong? Am I wrong? Oh my gosh, I was wrong. I was wrong. It's episode 12. It comes after. I'm really debating if I should cut that out. That's kind of embarrassing. I can't remember the last time I've been wrong about a Vampire Diaries episode question. But since it is pertaining to Stefan and Elena, I'm actually okay with it. The one thing I can, because usually when I try to think of what happens in an episode, I'm usually right. I have to amend my statement. Did you ever like Stefan? Did you ever give him and Elena a chance? And the answer is yes. And actually, now that I realize that this happens after they go to Georgia, it means that I actually did give him a chance. I just wasn't into Stefan and Elena. I just didn't vibe with their relationship. And then I found out that he knew who her actual mom was, and he was hiding that. And then when she was upset at him, he like held it over her head and used it to like emotionally manipulate them like making up. That bothered me. And then literally the next episode, Elena goes on the road trip with Damon, and from that, I love that episode. I love everything about that episode. I think it's so fun. One of the first times we see Elena actually be a little bit happy and forget about her troubles that she's been going through. I really love everything about the episode when they road trip to Georgia. So with that being said, the one and only time where I actually liked Stefan and Elena was in the Decade Dance episode, which now I am seeing as episode 12. So it comes after where I was like, oh, Damon and Elena would be cute. Because I didn't like Stefan and Elena at all in the first like 10 episodes of the show. I was bored, and literally I remember somebody asking me, it's all about Stefan and Elena, how did you make it through 10 episodes? And I guess I just thought Damon was really that awesome. Because like up until that point, like I didn't have any couples that I liked on that show, and it's very much a like ship show. This is gonna be a long video if you haven't gotten it already. It's the Vampire Diaries, come on. I have a lot of thoughts, and every time I'm like, Grandma, text me your thoughts. She texts me like 2 of them, and I'm like, okay, I love you, Grandma. So Brie, I know this video's for you, but low-key it's for Grandma. But you've seen the Vampire Diaries, so it's okay. I've been talking for 5 minutes around the Decade Dance because my brain won't let me. The only time I enjoyed Stefan and Elena was at the Decade Dance. I thought the entire scene where they're dancing, Elena looks so gorgeous in her little 50s getup. I love that episode. I think it's a really fun episode. I always thought the Decade Dances in the Vampire Diaries were such a fun thing because it pokes fun at the timelines, because we have like flashbacks to different eras, but then you also get these Decade Dances where vampires who lived in those eras are like cosplaying those eras, and I always just thought it was really fun and clever writing. So I love the Decade Dances, and that was the only time. Because then in the following episodes, all of the Damon and Elena scenes were just way more interesting to me, and after that I never paid Stefan any mind again, and he just continued to upset me even more, and his relationship with Elena did nothing to pull me in. I like all of the Catherine stuff. I like finding out Like, I like finally getting into the tomb and realizing that she was never even there. I feel like season 1, like, Grandma keeps saying, Damon's so mean, Damon's so mean. But I... See, that's what happens when... Where is the zoom? That's what happens when my camera hears ill words being said against Damon. It decides to fall because it can't take it. Actually, that's not true. I can take Damon criticism, but I'm just always right. So what was I even saying? Catherine, I feel like Stefan and Damon equally crash out about her not being in there, but they show it in very different ways. And I feel like the way that they handle it and how they act after that towards Elena expresses a lot about their intentions towards Elena. Okay, season 1, episode 19, Miss Mystic Falls. I love this episode. It's one of my favorite episodes of anything of all time. Miss Mystic Falls, the dance, literally this entire video is just me talking about Damon and Elena. Who is shocked? Who is shocked? Not me. The music in that episode, Elena's dress, everything with Elena and Caroline in that episode, and Stefan's mental breakdown. He's like punching mirrors and stuff. He's freaking out, like, for no reason. He's such a baby. He needs to, like, be checked into vampire rehab. I can't. And when Damon steps in and they do the dance and everything, it's so gorgeous. My two favorite tidbits from that episode are the smaller one. I only have really come to really appreciate that scene as much. I always liked it, but I appreciate it so much more the more times I rewatch or think of that episode. Stefan is locked in his little vampire rehab jail because he has serious issues. By the way, I'm not judging Stefan for having issues. I'm just judging him because he's like, what, 160, and he hasn't tried to deal with them, not even once. So that's on him. Like, I don't know. Grow up. I don't know. Grow up. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make this a positive video and not a hate video, which I can do easily. I can do a Stefan hate video one day and it'll be really good. I'm excited. Elena's sitting in there. She's really sad about it. The scene where Damon... If one more mail truck drives by today. I can't. I actually can't. But my point is, and this is a fitting scene, the scene where at the end of the episode, Elena's sitting in the cellar and she doesn't know what to do. She's very sad. Damon just comes in and he sits down with her. And they just sit. They just sit in the darkness and the quiet together, and I just really, really love that moment. I really love that scene. I just think it's such a sweet moment, and I don't know if you noticed, Stefan never does anything like that for Elena, ever. Even a lot of her friends don't do something like that for Elena. They just judge her. Anyway, of course, the dance with Damon and Elena. I love it so much, but my favorite small detail from that entire episode is that Elena is wearing blue. And Elena's wearing blue, and it may or may not matter that Damon's wearing blue in a correlated episode, but what do I know? I've never watched this before. Love the finale. Love the entire plot. This finale is one of the times where we really start to see, like, Stefan and Damon weakened, and when you're introduced to them, they're so powerful and, like, kind of scary, but you see by the end of the season that they're really not in comparison with other stuff in the world, and I feel like that's a really good segue into season 2 with the originals. I love Elena's dress in the finale. I think she looks gorgeous. I love it. I love her curls, and I think it's so fun and so clever the way they introduce Catherine in the present in that episode, because Elena looks just like her the entire episode, and sometimes they make several points, and it's the same day as, like, the founders. It's like the decade dance playing through time with the vampires playing through time. It's really fun and witty, and it's simple, but I really appreciate and like it. Obviously, the Catherine Damon kiss at the end, it's kind of iconic. Also, detail, it's on the porch, which I love. I love that it's on the porch. I love it. I love it. I think it's revealed that it's Catherine. Like, you're already kind of like, what's going on? I don't feel like Elena would cheat. Like, what is exactly happening here? And then you come to find that it's Catherine, and then she cuts off John's finger. Ah! So good. So good. Also, so much love for Jeremy and Elena this whole season. They really go through the ringer, and Elena is so there for him the entire time, and I love them so much. I think I'm gonna go on a walk with one of my friends soon, so I'm gonna go so she doesn't get here and she's gonna be like, oh, what were you up to? And I'm gonna be like, oh, I was talking about how much I love the Vampire Diaries to a camera for 20 minutes. Grandma, if you're watching this, those are some of my main thoughts. It was a lot about Damon and it was a lot about Elena, and also Elena, I talk way too much about Damon in this because I love Elena so much, and I feel like her season 1 arc is just, she's so strong, and I just love how she looks at life after everything she's been through, and I think it's really beautiful. And on that note, I'm gonna go take a walk in the woods just like Elena would, and have a wonderful day. And Breezy Lee, I will see you Friday, and maybe I'll see you next week with a season 2 Vampire Diaries review. Like, Grandma isn't on season 10 by then. So anyway, that's all for me. I'll see you on Friday. And this was The View the whole time.